started, I'd like to thank Dr. Cox for his service to the district as this will be his last Vernonia graduation. Thank you, Ken. A round of applause. So welcome everybody, what a great day, and thank you for sharing this moment with your graduates. I have read the speeches the students have prepared today, and their words are much more meaningful than anything that I might say, so I will be brief. However, I want to thank Scott Larry for his pointed efforts to highlight the students in the school and the community. Recently, he published an article mentioning recent accomplishments of Vernonia alumni. It reminded me of how proud I am to work with such a great staff and community that continue to support the advanced education of our students. Again, that was demonstrated the other night when this community doled out nearly $37,000 to these graduates. Thank you. I want to sincerely thank you all again for your support and dedication to these kids. Your efforts have and will continue to make a big difference. And graduates, in the coming years, I want to be able to read about your own accomplishments and successes. We are proud of you and know that you are prepared to do great things. Without further fanfare, please stand and join me in honoring our country. Today, the national anthem will be sung by Mariah, Alexa, and Katie Cook.
Today is the day we leave the place we have grown used to and the people we have come to know. We leave to serve our country, to become writers and doctors, to become musicians and mechanics, to move on to new and exciting things and start the new chapters of our lives. 19 of us have been together since our first day of school 13 years ago. Since then, we have been able to grow together, learn together, and have met new people together as more of us trickled in over the years. One of my favorite things about being a part of this class is that, for the most part, we all get along really well. Yes, we all have our separate groups and have certain friends we hang out with more than others, but when we need to, we are all able to come together without a problem. We all can work together and help each other out whenever it's needed. Our class has been through a lot over the years, from our first day of school to the day, our last. We have journeyed with each other to grade school zoo trips, and we're all introduced into middle school by traveling to scout groups each day. We have spent hours planning what we would do for homecoming every year for the past 4 years. It has been an adventure for sure, and one that has not come to an end. Soon all the people we have grown up with will be in different places. Some will stay in Oregon but travel to different parts. Others will move to neighboring states. Quite a large group of people sitting here with us, who we have grown to know and love in such a short amount of time, will be leaving to their home country soon here as well. There will also be a few of our classmates who will stay in Vernonia, or will eventually come back here in a few years. There is no right or wrong thing to do or place to go, as long as you are doing what is right for you and you are following your dreams. I hope to see every one of you again in 5 years at our class reunion. We can laugh and reminisce over the time we spent here and talk with each other about all the new things and exciting things we have done since this day when we were together as a group last. I know it may be too soon to talk about a reunion, as we are all still sitting here together. But my point with this is that this isn't goodbye. We're just continuing an adventure that we have been on for the last 18 years. As I turn this over to Timmy, I want you all to remember, the key to happiness is having dreams, the key to success is making them come true.
Alright, I will try and keep it short and sweet. I know we all want to get out here and celebrate with our friends and family. These past 4 years, in short, have been a roller coaster. There have been a lot of highs, there's also been lows. It's hard to believe none of us will be back in school with each other ever again, and that we are all about to go our separate ways and live the next chapters of our lives. I know some of us will stay in touch over the years, but really, we probably will not ever be assembled as an entire class again. And for the moment, it is hard for me to grasp this, even as I speak today. Yet, we all know this day was coming as the year drew on. We all have begun making plans for our futures. Some of us are going to college, others trade school, some in the military, and others in the workforce. Well, whatever it is, if any of us, I know that we will do our best, and we will excel. None of us want to live at home for the rest of our lives, and I know our parents don't want us to be there either. They want us to move out and be successful and give them grandkids. Well, grandkids not quite yet. Anyways, it feels just like yesterday when me and my friends were in the backyard just learning how to build a wall, and in the blink of an eye, we're graduating high school. What I would not give right now is turn back the clock and strap on a football uniform and play another game with all my friends, to laugh and have a good time doing what we all love to do. As sad as it makes me now, I know we will all be on to bigger and better things here in the near future. I just want to say that I have had fun with this class these last 3 years, and it has been a pleasure to get to know this group of foreign exchange students. I will miss you guys. It has been a blast, but at the same time, has gone by way too fast. I wish I could do it all again, but I cannot, so now I must look to the future. I wish you all the best in the futures, and for much success to come your way. For last time, I can say, I'm proud to be a lawyer.
Before I got on, just to be clear, is that I'm from Africa, and Africa is a continent, Kenya is a country. And of course, for those of you who know Kenya, it's not that all Kenyans are, but everybody. And day has finally come, the one you have all waited for since the time you started school. From a young kindergarten kid to a graduating senior. I'm proud of all the 2014 seniors. Congratulations for making it to this far. I know it's a tough time, but be glad that you are one of the things. You made it to this point because of the support from your parents and the support of your teachers. As for my first case, I was about to serious, but the coolest thing is that among us, it's an international group. Among the graduating class of 2014 is a group of 19 exchange students from different countries, different continents, who got to be part of this small awesome community of Vernonia. This is because of the generosity of the people of Vernonia who decided to have a kid you've never seen in your life, you don't know their behaviors, but they decided to make a difference by hosting them. And of course, Vernonia High School decided to give them a place in school. I'm glad to stand before all of you today. As an excellent student, we have had our best time here from the time we got here to the time we're just about to leave back to our countries. Where not enough to describe the happiness that I made to the end of my exchange year. I've learned more than I expected from my loving family and the best friends I made here, and from my teachers and coaches, and I hope for the same to the rest of the exchange students. I might not say that I enjoyed every minute of my exchange year, but I believe that's how life is. One thing every exchange student always thinks of is the comparison between their home country and where they are hosted. They all dream of having a lovely family and good friends in their exchange year. There might be a lot of differences from the organization of the host family, the way of interaction among people in the surrounding community, and the friends we make, but we strive really hard to get used to the new environment with lots of culture shocks, different languages, and most likely different accents. But the funniest one is how people call different stuff. This comes with a perfect example of myself from my first time in Vernonia. I wanted to have some Oreo cookies, and I didn't know what to call them, and I made a name for it. Hey, Mom, can I have some brown black biscuits? But I'm thankful to all those who never get angry when we try to ask for different questions. Some of the other funny stuff is how Americans call the elevator, we call it elevator, and from how I'm using, we call it lift. We call the trunk, the car trunk, we call it boat, but they call it trunk. So I had a really hard time to get used to the different names we call it. Where they're always there to help, even though the questions might be silly and annoying, and at the same case, for the Americans too. Hey Paul, you're from Africa, which is the capital city of Africa. Do you have cell phones in Africa? Have you seen an iPhone before? Do you guys have TVs in Kenya? Sometimes this might be really annoying, but you always make sure you answer them to your best and not to show the other side of yourself that you can be angry sometimes. Just to mention the weather difference. I come from a country where the weather is always the same throughout the year. The number of daytime or nighttime hours is always the same and never changes. Unlike in Oregon or even the United States at large, to see snow for my first time was probably one of the coolest experiences that I had myself. I will not say life as an exchange student is easy. It is sometimes stressful. It comes to a point where you just feel like, you're done with it. You're not going to get or enjoy the same freedom you have in your own country. That's probably the biggest thing for most of us, right? Your mom wants to know where you are every minute of the day. To be an exchange student, as for me, it's not just for 1 year or for 11 months, as most of you might think, but it's actually for a 3 years course. This is because of the first time you apply, a bunch of tests you have to do, lots of orientations to attend, up to the departure date from your country. And that's now just the middle of your experience, up to the time you finish the full 1 year. The last point is when you have to start to get used to your own culture. To adapt to all this new stuff needs a lot of qualities. Some of the qualities trained to be an excellent student are as follows: tolerance, patience, humility, have your country pride, patriotic, endurance, understanding, hard to get angry, slow to react, and creative thinking. Learning how to tolerate is probably the most important. Having a country pride makes you think about it, that you are your country ambassador, and you need to do it your level best to make a good impression about your country. Going to a totally new place, strange country, meeting strange people, strange culture, strange food, different school, different sport, are the most awesome of all is meeting your new family, your new schoolmates, people you never thought or imagined you can see them the whole of your life. But thank you to the KLS program, the FLEX program, and most of all is the SSC host organization that made our experiences one of the best things we ever had in our life. I say strange food because of my first time in McDonald's. I was so hungry, and I just got off the plane. My mom asked me if I would like to have something to eat. I told her I like fish. She ordered the McDonald's fish sandwich. I expected to get a real fish with bones, scales, and head, as I am used to, but this time, it came with a bread and some stuff wrong within the bread. I thought that was just the appetizer, and still waited for the real fish. Of course, it never came. Thank you to the whole Vernonia community, our host families who ensured our safety. They ensured that we have enough to eat, to change our lives, and you should be proud of them. Thanks to our teachers, our coaches, and all those who organized the trips we have had this year. For us, the excellent students, we will never be completely at home again because part of our hearts will always be elsewhere, and that's the price you pay for the richness of loving and knowing people from all over the world. My heart is going to be in Vernonia forever. I love you all. My exchange year is soon over, and I will leave my family and best friends to return to my family and the best friends. We might be leaving this state soon, but keep in mind that for some of us, it's not going to be a goodbye, but it's a see you soon. At the end, I've come to discover that the next student life is like a ride on a roller coaster. First, you're determined to ride and fascinated by the idea, then it goes far. You must end and come back fast and easy feelings. Then there are the high and low, but then it goes very quickly. In the end, once a bit that it's over, a little proud that you survived. Please again to have solid ground under your feet, and really would love to sit and ride it again. But you always have to give a chance to somebody else. You might not be blood brothers in any way, but we are always related in some way. Except that we are born in different geographic locations, and that really makes a difference. I know there might come a time you might forget our names, but always remember our physical description and at least our countries. The tall, dark, skinny Afro boy from Kenya. That way someone like you can understand, that's tall, and you'll never forget. You can always visit us someday. In our countries, for we are taught sons, brothers and sisters, I've had some of my life lost, and they are the struggles. You should never cry because it's over, but always smile because it's happened. There are no foreign lands. It's the traveler who is foreign. It's the journey that brings us to happiness and not the destination. Home is where the heart is, and as for me, I have two homes. For the excellent students, we build a life for 16 years and live it for 10 months. We build a life for 10 months, full of integrity, and live it forever. In a place you know, you'll find the true soul. If you're brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you when you go alone. And now to conclude, I'd like to say something in Vernonia. Asante sana nyote mbarikiwe. That's Swahili. The translation, thank you all and be blessed. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you know me or not, my name is Rachel Wilcoxon, and I have the privilege of giving a commencement address for the class of 2014 today. I'd like to welcome everyone that made it here. Family, friends, co-workers, board members. Whether you traveled up the street or across the country, your attendance today demonstrates that we have all been saying. Graduation is important. Students, you will never say, darn, I wish I didn't get my diploma. And to the graduates, class of 2014, I want you to know how much I admire your individualism and willingness to accomplish this feat while remaining true to your unique personalities. None of you here today gave up. You stuck with it. Some of you maintained the high academic standards that you set for yourself many years ago. Some came back to finish what could not be done in 13 years. Some of you finished early. Some of you waited until the last minute to finish. Regardless, you are here today, and I commend you all. By the way, it took me 10 years to get my 4-year degree. No one ever asked how long it took, just that I did it. You too will be able to say this, I did it. Whether or not you arrived this year or started here in kindergarten, it has certainly been an honor to be your teacher, and I thank you all for that. I'd also like to thank my mom and dad in general and for being here today. When I shared the news that I've been asked to speak at graduation, my mother's first words were, boy, if your high school teachers could see you now. But that's another story, as today is about this amazing group of kids seated here. I always like to start class with check-in, so I'm going to see if anybody has anything to share that the entire class needs to know. Anyone? Mr. Medeiros. You said it correctly. I love how you always notice the weather, whether it's raining, snowing, shining, whatever it's doing. Anybody else? Mr. Das? All right, here we go. When asked to speak, I considered it a great honor. However, the honor quickly gave way to fear as I realized what I had committed to. I guess I deserved this, as I did require each graduating senior to present an 8 to 10 minute speech. In preparing for this event, I turned to many people for suggestions. My uncle said to keep it short. The best graduation speech he had ever heard was done in under 3 minutes. I did not take his advice. I asked the students themselves, Tyler and John, I hope you understand why I did not take your suggestions, but rest assured, I agree with you both if anyone asks. Other students wanted me to mention how they were the best at the card game Magic. That got confusing as it really depended on who you were talking to at the time as to who indeed is the champ. So Bridger, Brooke, Jared, I guess you'll have to figure it out amongst yourselves. Others wanted me to notice how much they'll be missed. This has already been noted by the quiet halls, absent faces from my classes, and my marvelous TA is now gone. Any chance you can still run some errands for me, Heather and Mackenzie? Oh, and I'm still waiting waiting for my cut from the Craigslist sales. Boys, you know who you are. Other students just wanted me to say what mattered to me. This was perhaps the best suggestion, as I'm always willing to share my opinion with anyone who asks. One might be surprised how often they are not asked to share their opinion. I looked to the internet as well. There I learned that graduation speeches are designed to share lessons learned, impart wisdom, dispense advice, and offer the speaker an opportunity to pretend they know more than you do. With that, I'm going to share with you some tips, in no particular order, that I've learned along the way. Use what you can and leave the rest, and feel free to take the very best as your own. Everyone has an opinion, and they are just that, opinions. Don't spend more than you make. Having debt keeps you behind and rarely outweighs the joys of a purchase, unless it's a trip to Cancun for a wedding. Never say no to ice cream when on vacation. I have never remembered the times I said no, but always the times I said yes. The greatest day was when I realized I did not know more than my parents. This allowed me to learn something every day. If you are not learning, you are standing still. Keep moving forward. Travel. Seeing the world makes you appreciate what you have. Plus, seeing those things you learned in history class is kind of fun. The Louisiana Purchase Survey really did start in a swamp. From now on, all your classes are elective. Choose the right ones for you. Change your oil regularly. It will prolong the life of your vehicle. Be nice. It's easier. Say you're sorry. It keeps your side of the street clean. Do not follow your apology with a but, however. That just turns an apology into an excuse, and you know what they say about excuses. Do not be afraid to tell someone you love them. Do be afraid to tell someone you love them and expect something in return. Conditional love never works out. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. This I learned from Steve Jobs, and he seemed to lead an okay life. Help others when you can. Having worked at over 35 different jobs, I can truly say that you will know when it's time to find a new one. Life is too short to be miserable at work. Put your shopping cart back. It takes more energy to try and balance it and walk away than simply returning it to its rack. When faced with a difficult situation, picture the worst case scenario, and if you can handle that, go for it. Someone told me this several years ago, and it really works. Finally, when someone asks you to do something, like speak at a wedding, a funeral, or a graduation, accept. It's an honor. And remember to speak your mind, even if your voice shakes. Congratulations, class of 2014. I love you all.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilcoxon. Well said. Now I have the honor of giving out some awards. The first 3 awards are voted on by staff, and these are considered the top graduating awards. The first one is called the PEO Community Service Award. And let me read a little bit about what the qualifications are. The PEO has established the Community Service Award to be given to a graduating senior. The student selected will have contributed significantly to the community through a variety of activities, either as a leader or as a support person. This student has given selflessly to their community while continuing their education, participating in many other activities, and being involved in athletics. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we are proud to give the 2014 PEO Community Service Award, and you know I'm kidding, Bridger, but Bridger Stewart. Well done. Bridget and I have had a lot of conversations in my office the last 11 years, so I will miss them. Canal, I like you, but I'm not, I'm thankful that we won't be having any of those conversations with you. Kidding. Wallace and Cray Award. This award was established in 1968 and is intended to recognize special traits of positive leadership and service to the school along with outstanding scholarship. The students who have received this award in the past have been a credit to themselves, their parents, and the Vernonia community. They have shown a great deal of self-discipline and the ability to make the right decisions at the right time for the right reasons. The recipients of this award have served as a positive example of living and leadership through the examples they've set in their lives. Additionally, they must have at least a 3.0 GPA. This student is no different and proud to give she served her school and community with integrity and hard work. This year's winner, Laura Rice. And the last one that's voted on by staff members, we have a committee together, and so we have different, perspectives, administration and counseling and classified and whatnot, so there's a good representation. The Senior Cup was established in 1957. This is considered the top senior award. This cup is awarded for outstanding scholarship and citizenship. The recipient must be selected from the top 5 ranking students of their class. Believing that good citizenship is of great importance, a greater emphasis should be given, that's not written correctly, meaning that scholarship is of great importance, citizenship should have a greater emphasis. Sorry, that was written kind of weird. Anyway, top senior award, I'm very proud of this young lady, Jessica Gardner. 2 more. We've already heard from this young man, your salutatorian, Tim Jennings. And you'll hear from her shortly, your valedictorian, Laura Rice.
Ready, that's right. Congratulations, class of 2014. It's a great day outside, and you know what it is today. A great day to be a logger graduating from Vernonia High School. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to work with all of you and each one of you that have been involved with anything that I've been involved in, and I've been involved with a lot of things that you guys have been involved in. So anyway, congratulations. I think it's great. I certainly appreciate all of you. I am here to give the chance to become scholarship out. That scholarship, I'm going to have to give you a little brief history about it first of all. Several years ago, a group of people got together and saw a need in Columbia County for students to have a chance to go on and further their education, to be helped out. Columbia Learning Center was formed in St. Helens. This group gets together. They choose every school in Columbia County, Rainier, Claxton, St. Helens, Scappoose, and Vernonia, and give out awards to these students. These awards, I'll tell you about the scholarship and how they get this, but before we get into that group chooses to be anonymous, and they are all anonymously donating funds to all these students at every school in Columbia County. To receive this scholarship, students are chosen based on very non-traditional criteria. For example, grades aren't the main focus for this scholarship. It could be a student that might have a unique talent or might have a special skill. They might be someone who's overcome behavioral problems in the past or personal challenges. Maybe a student whose family can't afford to send them to college or further their education. So whatever, in short, the scholarship is designated or designed to include a wide range of students, everyone in the class, basically. Another interesting fact about this scholarship, as I told you, students can't apply for it, they are chosen. They were chosen by a group of faculty members and administrators at Vernonia High School, or this person was, and that's how they get this scholarship. They are observed through the 4 years of school. The person in charge of giving this out and in charge of the committee solicits names from the staff. They meet together with the scholarship committee and they make a selection. Each scholarship is worth $5,000, $2,500 each year. It's pretty generous. The funding, as I said, comes from anonymous local donors that just want to return. They want to pay it forward. They just want to return the opportunity that they were given sometime when they were younger. And one final note before I award this scholarship, it's not really free. The person who receives this scholarship will be challenged to go on and someday pay it forward themselves, to give someone else a chance to become and achieve their dreams in life. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand out the scholarship application to this person. A little bit about him. It's a man, a young man, obviously, since I said he's a man. He's a young man. He has been involved in several different activities. He's been involved in athletics. He's been involved in clubs. He's been an example of good citizenship. I have never seen him in the office or getting in trouble or in Mr. Underwood's office. He's done a very good job this year and every year that he's been in high school. And the chance to become scholarship winner goes to Jared Quick.
Hello, I am Laura Rice, and this is my lovely assistant, Jessica Gardner. Let's see. Okay. So, I thought a long time about what I wanted to say to all of you today. I wanted to be funny. I wanted to sound mature. I wanted to inspire you, to make you laugh, or, yes, even make you cry. But I'm just a valedictorian. The only reason I'm standing in front of you today is because I got good grades. And trust me, if I had known that my GPA would determine whether or not I had to speak in front of hundreds of people, I might have done a few things differently. Yet here I am today, standing in front of you. It feels strange being at the grand age of 18, and really, I'm younger than most of my class anyways. So what advice could I possibly have to offer that would motivate our class? So I decided to start my speech off with a simple piece of logic. Almost everything you need to know in life, we learned in Mr. Brown's class. Confused? Don't worry, I'll explain. For the first time in several years, the entire senior class, minus the foreign exchange students, was placed in a single classroom for world literature every day. Now you're probably asking yourself, who in the world is brave enough to handle us? Because let's face it, we're a very unique group of students. But that person was Mr. Brown, and he managed to tangle with us for an entire year. Our class became very fond of Mr. Brown, and I think we all agree that we became much closer together as a class and as a family during those rough fourth periods. But Mr. Brown probably didn't realize that we were learning much more in his class. We learned It is never too late to become a connoisseur of the English language. You can never watch a movie with the volume up too loud. If it's up too loud, you're too old. Working hard will move you forward in life, but running cross country will get you there faster. Don't make the same mistake twice, and if you do, don't make it a third time. So, don't cheat, and if you do cheat, don't cheat next time. Lies only exist if you believe in them. For example, there is no such thing as magic, except for the card game. Everything can be associated with logging metaphors. Fear is the root of all evil, especially the 3 checkmark system. Define your own rules for success. If a book is longer than 300 pages, it can also be 2 books. Be resourceful. If a large water jug breaks open on the floor, use a sweatshirt to soak up the water. Also, don't ask for your mom. You're never too old for a timeout. Follow your gut, you'll thank yourself later. If someone tells you to answer 3 questions so you can leave class early, don't fall for it. It's trapped, keeping class longer. If you don't know the answer to a Jeopardy question, compliment Brown's mustache. It might just get you brownie points. Don't take your life too seriously because no one else does, meaning that public humiliation must be good for you. Bad words aren't bad words unless Brown hears them. Life isn't fair, but it's still good, and putting tape on the bottom of Mr. Brown's mouth is always funny, no matter how many times you do it. Are you crying yet? No? I guess I'll keep going. Now, I'd like to take you on a journey back in time, 12 years ago. We're in Mrs. Knight's kindergarten class, writing our letters, crying because we miss our mommies and daddies, and making stone soup. We don't really know anyone, and we feel as though the world revolves around what we're having for lunch. Now, let's fast forward to 3rd grade. We've gotten used to waking up early every morning, we've made friends, we've discovered silent ball, and before long, we've learned to multiplication tables, how to rank verses, and how to throw the ball at someone just right to get them out, make them cry, and both. We're now in middle school. We go to outdoor school where Mr. Ward and Mr. Schwartz try to convince us to shower and use deodorant because, let's face it, we stink. Girls and boys no longer have cuties, and we are thrust into the whirlwind of teenage drama. Now we're freshmen. We feel like we're on top of the world, but after homecoming week, we realize that is not the case. We've successfully mastered the art of personal hygiene and have reached the full capacity of teenage drama. And now we're seniors. There are so many cliche phrases I could say, but I'm afraid none of them really fit what we're all feeling right now. We've gone from diapers to caps and gowns. I said earlier that I wanted to inspire you. I wish I could tell you guys that everything gets easier from here on out, but honestly, it doesn't. For the next 10 years, we will be making the biggest, most life-changing decisions ever. Think about it. Where will you be? Some of us will have families, some of us will be college graduates, some of us will have dream jobs, or maybe our dream car. But my advice to you is simple, and maybe even a little silly. But I hope you will take it seriously, or at least as seriously as you can. Remember, I'm just a valedictorian. Live your life. Don't ever let someone tell you how to live. Your story is unique, and nobody can determine your ending for you. Remember those plot diagrams we made in 6th grade Miss McSwain's class? Every protagonist has trials to overcome, like, say, writing or giving a speech at graduation, before we reach our climax. Graduating high school is just the beginning, but our story isn't over. But we're ready to turn the page. We've spent our whole lives preparing for this moment. So just remember, ladies and gentlemen, almost everything we've learned in life, we learned in Mr. Brown's class. Thank you.
All right, folks, I guess this is why we're here, members of the Vernonia School Board, Superintendent, and staff. At this time, having met the graduation requirements for the state of Oregon and Vernonia High School, and members of the graduating class of 2014 are ready to receive their diplomas. thought about using Mr. Ward's strategy of just calling out countries for foreign exchange students, because I'm going to butcher some of the names, but it'll be fun, all right? Let's get this party started. Silas Mancy. Andrea Nicole Owens. Emil Hardenberg. Johanna Langa. Ronnie Ray Maldonado. Stephanie Castro.
There we go.
Samuel Ua. Katarina Brinkova. Brandon Ray Coca.
Gonna get him.
Mariah Ann Cook.
You want to sit down?
Michaela Jane Fennell. Alexandro Plazagevecki. Plaskevich. Nikita Nicole McCord. Lemaron Lickamore. Tori Elizabeth Dalebro. Jared Damon Whitten. Emma Italia Louise Dongia. Alexander Hewitt. Mackenzie Lee Anderson.
Mackenzie.
Anton Vladimirovich Yakovenko. Jennifer Reed Hayes. Jacob Paul Medeiros.
There you go, Jacob.
Sarah Rebecca Wagner. Timothy William Jennings II. Heather Ann Patton. Sarah E. Mayer Villanueva.
Hey, Sarah. Woo!
Dominique Joel Wood.
Dom.
Sarah A. Wilmot. Jeremiah Joseph Hammond. John Kai Pravash. Never thought I'd say it. Bridger Colton Stewart. Jean Lee. Cole Jordan Harper. Tyler Nathaniel Kent. Jonathan Lane Gass. Felicia Marie Schurmeister. Jessica Marie Gardner. Laura Marie Rice. Ani Agassi Donelion. Robert Buddy Adrian Springfield. Hope Mackenzie Norton Paval. Andrea Alvina Lazama. Shavarsh Muralian. Anastasia Mihalchuk. Adonis Jeffrey Hopkins. Jerry Sierra Pond. Bo Sumner Clark.